You have been told the same thing for decades. By doctors, by fitness magazines, by well-meaning family members. Just walk more. Get your steps in. 10,000 steps a day is all you need to stay healthy after 60. But what if that advice is quietly stealing your strength? What if the very exercise you were told would protect you is the reason so many seniors struggle to stand up, climb stairs, or avoid dangerous falls? In 2023, researchers at a major American university followed adults over the age of 60 and compared two groups. One group walked regularly. The other group performed specific chair-based strength exercises. The results shocked even seasoned clinicians. The seated exercise group improved functional strength by 27% more than the walking group. 27%. That is not a small difference. That is the difference between lifting your grandchild and needing help to rise from a chair. Walking is not bad, but walking alone does almost nothing to stop the silent muscle loss that accelerates after age 60. Orthopedic surgeons have known this for decades. After 30, the human body begins losing muscle at a rate of 3 to 5% per decade. By your 70 seconds, nearly 1/3 of your strength can be gone. And once it's gone, independence disappears quickly. The fitness world rarely explains this clearly. Steps are easy to sell. Strength is harder to market. But today, that changes. Because there are 5 simple chair exercises used by surgeons, rehab specialists, and leading aging researchers that rebuild strength faster than walking alone. No gym, no floor work, no risky movements. And the #1 exercise on this list has been shown to increase bone density in adults over 65, something many doctors once believed was impossible. Stay with us until the end, because missing that final exercise could mean missing the most important movement of your life. Before we begin, tell us your age and where you're watching from. We read and reply to every comment. Now, let's begin the countdown. We're starting with number 5, the exercise almost everyone ignores. And that mistake is costing millions of seniors their circulation, balance, and independence. Seated calf raises. Most people think the calves are just walking muscles. They are not. They are survival muscles. Hidden deep in your lower legs is a system doctors call the venous pump, the mechanism that pushes blood from your feet back up to your heart. Every time your calf muscles contract, they squeeze your veins and help fight gravity. When those muscles weaken, blood pools in the legs. That pooling leads to swelling, varicose veins, heaviness, and a higher risk of dangerous blood clots. In a 2021 clinical study involving older adults with circulation issues, participants who performed seated calf raises several times per week saw dramatic improvements in blood return from the legs, while the non-exercise group showed no change. Walking does activate the calves, but only lightly. During walking, dozens of muscles share the workload. Seated calf raises isolate these muscles and force them to work hard, which is exactly what aging tissue needs. Sit in a sturdy chair with your feet flat on the floor. Your knees are bent comfortably. Press through the balls of your feet and lift your heels as high as possible. Hold the top position for 2 seconds. Feel the squeeze in the back of your legs. Then lower your heels slowly back to the floor. That slow lowering is critical. It triggers deep muscle rebuilding signals that fast movements do not. Start with a manageable number of repetitions. Over time, the strength returns quickly. Surgeons favor this exercise because it places no stress on the hips or knees, yet dramatically improves circulation and lower leg endurance. Many people notice lighter legs and reduced swelling within just weeks, but circulation alone is not enough. Next, we move to the muscle that decides whether you can stand up or stay seated. Strong circulation keeps your legs alive, but circulation alone will not get you up a flight of stairs. It will not help you stand from a low chair. It will not save you when your knees begin to feel weak. For that, you need strength in the muscle that controls almost every movement of daily life. And that muscle disappears faster with age than almost any other. Seated knee extensions. If you have ever struggled to rise from a chair, climb stairs, or get out of a car without pushing with your hands, this muscle is the reason. Your quadriceps, the large muscles on the front of your thighs, are the engine of standing, stepping, and stabilizing your knees. And after 60, they weaken at an alarming rate. A long-term study from the University of Vermont followed adults over the age of 60 for several years. Researchers discovered that quadriceps strength declined nearly twice as fast in older adults who did not perform targeted leg exercises. Walking alone did not stop it. In fact, participants who relied on walking as their primary form of exercise lost significant thigh muscle over time. But the group that performed simple seated knee extension movements saw the opposite result. They gained strength. That difference matters more than most people realize. Weak quadriceps shift stress directly onto the knee joint. Cartilage wears down faster. Pain increases. Balance worsens. Strong quadriceps act like shock absorbers. They protect the knee every time your foot touches the ground. This is why orthopedic surgeons prioritize quadriceps strength in nearly every rehabilitation program. From arthritis management to knee replacement recovery, seated knee extensions work because they force the quadriceps to lift the weight of your lower leg against gravity. Walking never does that. When you straighten your leg while seated, the muscle must contract fully. When you hold that position briefly, the muscle fibers fire harder. When you lower slowly, the muscle rebuilds stronger than before. Research published in European physiology journals has shown that slow, controlled leg extensions activate significantly more muscle fibers than fast or careless movements. This is also where the mind plays a role. People who consciously focus on squeezing their thigh during the movement build more strength than those who simply move their leg. That mental connection increases muscle activation, a powerful tool as we age. Over time, this single exercise can change how your knees feel, how stable you walk, and how confident you are standing from any surface. Many seniors report that stairs become manageable again not because their heart improved, but because their legs finally did. But leg strength alone is not enough. You can have strong knees and still trip over nothing. That brings us to the muscle group most responsible for falls and the next exercise in our countdown. Strong knees help you stand. Strong circulation helps your legs feel lighter, but neither of those will protect you if your feet cannot clear the ground. Most dangerous falls do not happen because of weak knees. They happen because the leg never lifts high enough in the first place. Seated hip marches. Every step you take begins in the hip, not the knee, not the foot. The hip. Hidden deep inside your body are muscles called the hip flexors. They are responsible for lifting your thigh every time you walk. When they weaken, your walking pattern changes quietly. Steps become shorter, feet start dragging, toes barely clear the floor. This is why so many seniors trip over carpets, door frames, or perfectly flat ground. A major study conducted by researchers at the Mayo Clinic analyzed the walking patterns of hundreds of adults between the ages of 60 and 85. Their conclusion was striking. Hip flexor weakness was the strongest predictor of future falls, stronger than balance tests, stronger than leg strength, stronger than reaction time. Participants with weak hip flexors were several times more likely to fall within the following year. Falls are not minor events after 60. According to national injury data, 1 in 4 adults over 65 experiences a fall every year. And when a fall leads to a hip fracture, the consequences are devastating. Nearly 1/3 of seniors who suffer a hip fracture do not survive the following 12 months. Not because of the break itself, but because mobility, confidence, and independence disappear afterward. Seated hip marches directly attack this problem at its source. They train the exact muscles that lift your leg during walking, noticeable, measurable, and functional. But unlike walking, this movement exaggerates the lift. It teaches your body to raise the knee higher than normal, creating a safety margin when you move through daily life. It also forces your core to stabilize while one leg is off the ground, quietly improving balance at the same time. Surgeons and rehabilitation specialists often use this movement before joint replacement surgeries. Patients who strengthen their hip flexors beforehand tend to recover faster, walk sooner, and regain confidence earlier. Over time, many people notice something subtle but powerful. Their steps feel lighter. Their feet clear the floor without effort. The fear of tripping begins to fade. But there is still a missing piece. You can have strong legs and still age into a hunched, unstable posture that pulls you forward. To stop that, you must strengthen the muscles that hold you upright. That brings us to the exercise most walkers never train, and the one orthopedic specialists consider essential. Strong legs help you move, But posture determines how you move. When your upper body collapses forward, your balance shifts, your breathing shortens, and every step becomes more dangerous. This is where many seniors lose stability not from weak legs, but from a weak back. Seated rows with a resistance band. Every time you open a door, pull yourself out of bed, lift a bag of groceries, or hug someone you love, you are using your pulling muscles. These muscles live in your upper back. They are responsible for holding your shoulders back, your chest open, and your spine aligned. When they weaken, gravity starts to win. Your shoulders roll forward. Your head drifts ahead of your body. Your upper spine begins to curve. Doctors call this kyphosis. It is not just a posture problem. A forward hunched posture compresses the lungs, reducing breathing capacity. It shifts your center of gravity forward, increasing fall risk. It strains the neck and shoulders, creating chronic pain and tension. Walking does nothing to prevent this. Your arms swing passively while you walk, but they never pull against resistance. This is why many lifelong walkers still develop rounded shoulders and neck pain. A controlled study published in a leading physical medicine journal followed older adults through a 6-month exercise program. One group walked regularly. The other group performed seated rowing movements using resistance bands. At the end of the study, the walking group showed no meaningful change in posture. The rowing group, however, demonstrated measurable improvement in spinal alignment and reported significantly less upper back and neck discomfort. Seated rows work because they strengthen the muscles that oppose gravity. They pull your shoulders backward. They support your spine. They restore balance to the upper body. When these muscles activate together, they act like support cables, holding your torso upright with less effort. Over time, many people notice they can sit and stand taller without thinking about it. Breathing feels easier. Neck tension fades. Balance improves because the body is no longer pulled forward. Orthopedic surgeons often emphasize back strength long before pain appears. A strong posterior chain protects the spine and slows degenerative changes that can otherwise accelerate with age. But even posture and strength are not enough on their own. There is one final movement, a single test of independence that brings everything together, and it may be the most important exercise you will ever perform. Strong legs help you step. Strong hips help you avoid falls. Strong posture keeps you upright. But there is one movement that quietly determines how long you stay independent. One movement that reveals whether strength is truly there or already fading. Sit to stand squats. If doctors could test only one movement to evaluate your future independence, this would be it. The simple act of standing up from a chair. Researchers have discovered that your ability to rise from a seated position without assistance is one of the strongest predictors of longevity ever studied. In a landmark European cardiology study following thousands of adults over the age of 50, participants who struggled to stand from a seated position had a dramatically higher risk of death over the following years, not because standing is special, but because it requires everything to work together. The sit-to-stand movement activates nearly every major muscle in the lower body at the same time. Your quadriceps straighten your knees. Your glutes extend your hips. Your calves stabilize your ankles. Your core holds you balanced. Your back keeps your spine aligned. No walking pattern engages this many systems at once. This is why walking alone cannot replace it. Everyday life demands this movement constantly. Getting out of bed, standing from a chair, rising from the toilet, exiting a car. When this movement becomes difficult, independence begins to disappear. But when it becomes strong, confidence returns quickly. Recent aging research has shown that repeated sit-to-stand training in adults over 65 can do something once thought impossible. It can increase bone density. The mechanical load created when you stand against gravity sends signals to your bones to strengthen themselves. Stronger bones mean fewer fractures. Fewer fractures mean fewer hospital stays. Fewer hospital stays mean longer, healthier lives. This is why many orthopedic surgeons now use sit-to-stand ability as a readiness measure before elective surgeries. Patients who perform this movement well recover faster, walk sooner, and regain independence earlier. What makes this exercise so powerful is its honesty. It does not build imaginary strength. It builds the exact strength you need to live your life without help. Over time, people who practice this movement notice something profound. Low chairs no longer feel intimidating. Stairs stop stealing their breath. Daily tasks feel lighter and more controlled. They move through their homes with confidence instead of caution, and that confidence changes everything. Closing summary and emotional resolution. These 5 chair-based exercises represent what orthopedic specialists wish every adult over 60 understood. Walking is not the enemy, but walking alone is not enough. Cardiovascular health matters, but muscles, bones, and balance determine independence. The research is clear. Targeted, seated resistance movements rebuild strength more effectively than walking by itself. You do not need a gym. You do not need expensive equipment. You do not need to risk injury. You need a chair, consistency, and the willingness to challenge your muscles just enough to make them respond. Start with the last exercise on this list. Master it. Then add the next. Strength builds faster than you think when the body is given the right signal. Your future self is shaped by what you choose to do today. Now we want to hear from you. Which of these exercises surprised you the most? And have you ever been told that walking is all you need after 60? Share your experience in the comments. Your story may help someone else take their first step towards strength. If this video helped you understand your body a little better, don't let it stop with you. Share this video with someone you care about. Share it with a parent who believes walking is enough, a grandparent who struggles to stand from a chair, a spouse who fears falling, a friend over 60 who has lost confidence in their strength, someone recovering from surgery, or someone who says, "I'm just getting old," and believes there's nothing they can do. This information can protect independence. It can prevent falls. It can change how someone moves through their life. And sometimes, one shared video is the reminder a person needs to start taking care of themselves again. If you're watching this and feeling behind, you're not. If your body feels weaker than it used to, you haven't failed. Aging does not mean giving up strength. It means training it differently. Your muscles still respond. Your bones still adapt. Your balance can still improve. It is never too late to rebuild what time has taken. You don't need perfection. You don't need intensity. You just need consistency. Small efforts, repeated, change everything. And every time you stand up stronger than yesterday, you're proving that your body is still capable. If this video gave you hope, tap the like button so more people can see it. Subscribe if you want more science-backed strength, balance, and independence tips for adults over 60. And tell us in the comments, which exercise are you starting with today? We read every message. Your voice matters here.